Hello, you're watching the Auto Advisor channel. Have you ever wondered why cars need shock absorbers? It's a question that many of us may ponder. Shock absorbers play a vital role in our vehicles, and yet their function often remains a mystery to many. In today's episode, we're going to pull back the curtain and provide a simple, straightforward explanation of what shock absorbers do and why they're so essential for a smooth and safe ride. So buckle up as we take a deep dive into the world of shock absorbers. First off, what exactly is a shock absorber? In the simplest terms, a shock absorber is a component of a car's suspension system that's designed to dampen the impact of road irregularities, ensuring that your vehicle doesn't bounce excessively when driving over bumps or potholes. Just imagine your car as a large spring. When you drive over a bump, the car would bounce up and down, making for a pretty uncomfortable ride. That's where the shock absorber comes in. It absorbs this bouncing energy and converts it into heat, therefore preventing the car from excessively bobbing up and down. Now, where can you find these shock absorbers? Well, they're typically located between the wheels and the frame of your car. And although they might look simple, they're actually made up of several components. At the heart of a shock absorber, you would find a piston and a cylinder filled with hydraulic fluid. When your car encounters a bump, this piston moves up and down within the cylinder, forcing the hydraulic fluid through small holes. This process slows down the piston and, in turn, the movement of the car. There's also a spring-loaded valve in the shock absorber that adjusts to the road conditions, ensuring optimal performance regardless of whether you're driving on a smooth highway or a rough country road. So in essence, the shock absorber is a vital component that ensures a smooth and comfortable ride. Now, you might be wondering, what does a shock absorber do? Well, the clue is in the name. Shock absorbers are essentially the buffer between your vehicle and the road, absorbing and dampening shock impulses that are caused by bumps, potholes, and other irregularities on the road. Imagine for a moment a sponge soaking up a spill. The sponge absorbs the liquid, preventing it from spreading. Now, apply this same concept to your car's shock absorbers. They absorb the energy created by the impact from the road, preventing it from jostling the car and its passengers. But it's not just about comfort, it's also about safety. Shock absorbers play a critical role in ensuring that your car's tires maintain constant contact with the road. This might seem like a small detail, but it's actually vitally important. Without this constant contact, your vehicle could lose traction, making it difficult to steer, brake, or control the vehicle. Shock absorbers work in two cycles, the compression cycle and the extension cycle. The compression cycle occurs when the piston moves down due to a bump or a hole in the road, compressing the hydraulic fluid in the shock absorber. The extension cycle, on the other hand, occurs when the piston moves back up, extending the shock absorber to its original position. Throughout these cycles, the shock absorber is continually working to reduce the effect of the shock, smoothing out the ride, and ensuring that the tires stay on the road. It's like a continual dance, a back and forth that happens every time your vehicle is in motion. Now, imagine if your car didn't have shock absorbers. Every single bump, every pothole, every piece of uneven pavement would send a jolt through the vehicle. Not only would this make for an incredibly uncomfortable ride, but it would also make it much harder to control the vehicle. So, when we talk about shock absorbers, we're not just talking about a component that makes your ride smoother. We're talking about a crucial part of your vehicle that ensures safety and control. Without shock absorbers, your drive would be quite a bumpy and uncomfortable experience. So why are shock absorbers so important in a car? Well, it's simple, really. Shock absorbers are like the unsung heroes of your vehicle's performance and your driving experience. Let's break it down. Firstly, they ensure a comfortable ride. Imagine driving down a bumpy road without shock absorbers. Not the most pleasant thought, is it? Shock absorbers absorb and dampen the jolts and vibrations from the road, smoothing out your ride. This means you don't feel like you're on a roller coaster every time you hit a pothole. Secondly, shock absorbers are key to maintaining control of your vehicle. They keep your tires in contact with the road, providing the grip you need to steer, stop, and accelerate safely. Without them, your car would bounce around like a kangaroo on a trampoline, making it difficult to control. Lastly, Shock absorbers help to prolong the lifespan of your car's components. By reducing the impact of road conditions on your vehicle, they prevent excessive wear and tear on other parts of your car, like the tires and the suspension system. Think of them as the buffer that keeps everything else in check. So, in essence, shock absorbers are not just about comfort, they're about safety and longevity too. They prevent your car from shaking itself to pieces, keep you in control on the road, and make your journey smoother and more enjoyable. It's clear then that shock absorbers play a crucial role in both your comfort and safety when driving. How do I know when it's time to replace the shock absorbers? There are several signs by which you can determine that it is time to replace the shock absorbers in your car. Increased braking distance. Worn shock absorbers worsen the grip of wheels with the road, which affects the effectiveness of braking. Deteriorating handling. Worn shock absorbers lead to an increase in body roll, which reduces the stability of the car in corners and when realigning. Changes in vehicle height. Worn shock absorbers can cause loss of pressure in the springs or airbags, which changes the clearance of the car and affects its aerodynamics and fuel consumption. Appearance of extraneous noises and vibrations. Worn shock absorbers can cause knocking, squeaking, or rumbling in the suspension, as well as vibration of the steering wheel or pedals. Changes in tire condition. Worn shock absorbers can cause uneven tire tread wear, reducing tire life and safety.